talk. So let's see. Oh, I got a question. I got a mailbag question. The question is that, hey, so our platform finds all these properties, right? We find 35,000 motivated sellers in Texas every month. And so, and we find deals that are off market, and we also find deals that are on the MLS. There's a lot of properties on the MLS. The issue to the deals on the MLS is that everybody and their mother are looking at it, and it's harder to find deals, but there's a lot of deals. So the question about the MLS deals is, if we find a deal with a high equity in it, right? Or, I guess what the question is trying to mean is, hey, if we find a deal that's a good deal on the MLS, how is that possible? Why are there deals on the MLS? So the answer to that question is we kind of have to step back and look at the entire real estate market in general. So in general, for any market, there are tons of people that owns tons of houses, right? In Texas, just in the major counties, we have 14 million 14 million properties in all these major counties. So there's a lot of people living in these houses, and some people are gonna have they're gonna experience something in their life that makes them motivated to sell. So when they are motivated to sell, those are the prime deals, right, for investors. They're also prime listing targets for listing agents. A lot of listing agents are also targeting people that are motivated to sell. And so these listing agents are going to win some of these deals, and they're going to list these houses for their clients, and they'll put it on the MLS. But the ultimate thing is, this seller is motivated to sell. So what are you going to do? If you're motivated to sell, you have to drop the price, because real estate is not liquid, right? It's not easy to get rid of a real estate property. Unless it's like hot market and everything else. So here with the property that they need to sell, and they can't sell it in one day, unless you drop the price, right? So they have to price it under market value, and so with that difference, that's how the deal will show up on the MLS. It's the only difference is the listing agent got to them first. They do the marketing and got to that motivated seller. Or if it's an investor, get to them first and buy it directly from that motivated seller. And that's how we have off-market deals and on-market deals. The follow-up question is that if we find a deal on the MLS, how do you wholesale it? We would always share with you that we're not investment experts, right? We're not here to give you investment advice, but generally what we see our clients do is they would wholesale it. If they want to wholesale it, is they would put it under contract first. So when they're under contract, they can sell the contract, basically. So that's how you can make profit. Now, of course, on the MLS, the properties are the ones that you can wholesale on the MLS is not that high. I think when we find the deals, generally we can find the ones that have enough margin for a fix and flip. But to wholesale, there are much less on the MLS. So you're going to be more successful finding those wholesale opportunities that's off market. Oh, look, I got some tea. Okay, so very, very good question. Thank you for the question. If anybody have more questions for us, you can send it to mailbag@realesstateiq.co, and we're gonna answer your questions at these weekly talks. So let's see. I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys something really cool. And that is the version 4. So where do I find the photos here? Let me find it real quick. I'll share that with you. V4. Screenshots for mobile optimized V4. Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, and I had more photos here, but this one has everything. So let me see. Let me hit share and share my screen. So our version 4 is our new version release, and we just got the screenshots from the engineering team the couple of days ago. So I want to share this with you and what it looks like. And I think it needs a little bit more explanation, but in general, basically depends on if you're a client of ours or not. We have been using a very good interface that we're currently using, but now we have a much better interface with integration with charts. We have really nice charts now that plots the data, and we also have a much better way to display the deals and we do to analyze the deals. We're very excited about it, and we are expecting to release this in March. So we're just a couple of weeks away. This is a very exciting time for us. So these are some screenshots, and I would say, I guess on this one, this is a chart of the deals that we find on the MLS, and we're plotting all the numbers here. And also kind of down here, we can't see it, but which county has how many deals. I would say out of these 4 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's Dallas County, it's Tarrant County, Collin County, and Denton County. So there's some other screenshots here, but this is all mobile friendly, and it's a lot easier to use. And now you can have it on your phone, and you can talk about, you can run comps anywhere, basically, right? Because it's mobile friendly. So this is the chart, part of the cutoff. But everything, the reason you see it in this screen like this is because it's mobile friendly. And so everything has been mobile optimized. You can do it everywhere. This is how you can use to run comps, type in the address and all that stuff, and you're good. And this is the discounted deal for each county. So we have counts of 10 to 20%. Oh, let me do this. 10 to 20% different discount percentage at each county, and it will give you the count and all that good stuff. Right? All these are mobile-friendly views. And if you're using a desktop, it's gonna be optimized. It's gonna look even better, but it takes more work to make it mobile optimized. Here is a plot. So if you click on any of these counties, it'll show you the county's deals breakdown, and that's big. Here, let me see what's remarkable. So this is the CMA. When you punch in the information, I think it's just a little bit nicer interface. I think we, in terms of, if you're familiar with our current interface, I think it's just a nicer lipstick. But the flow is going to flow a little bit better with the CMAs. And so if you click one CMA, it's going to run a CMA with all the calculation and stuff. So this is a screenshot of MLS Deal Finder. And you're going to have much nicer photos. It's very nice, and it goes along with everything that we're doing. We have now legends for all of these. When you find a deal, it opens up and it gives you all the information, and you can run the CMA and check the property. This is we were looking at list view, and this is the grid view. And then here, the property itself. Jessica, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Jessica, thanks for joining us.
Sorry I'm late.
No, thank you. So we're just looking at our new interface, the version 4 release.
Okay.
We're releasing it in March. So some new interfaces. These are, and this is a desktop view, more analytics. Oh, this one's nice too. Oh, this is everything we have. I don't know where you join us. We had some nicer, like when it shows the photos of the properties, it looks nicer. Like, boom, much nicer looking. And it's mobile friendly, so you can run comps anywhere now. It just hooks up to our system. So are you camera ready?
I hope so.
Oh, there we go. Hi. Cool. So we're very glad to have Jessica join us. And Jessica, just give me 1 second here. I'm gonna stop sharing so we can get on the company. Excuse me, get on the camera. So that was very exciting. Okay, so Jessica, we have known each other for how long?
I would say about 4 years at least now. I think it's been that long.
I think if we remember when you guys were first starting, that is when we started hitting the investor market.
Yes.
So I think that was around 2014.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, almost 5 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Time flies.
all these years you guys have grown your business a lot.
Yeah, we've come quite far in a short period of time, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Every time we are talking, you guys have grown. And that's always a very fun thing.
Yes, always learning and growing in this business.
Yeah, and I think as your company continues to grow, you're forced to do more and learn more stuff, and then you grow faster.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. So tell us how you guys started your business.
So AZ is my fiance and business partner. We moved from California in 2014. Neither one of us had ever worked in real estate, knew anything about real estate. So AZ's dad was the one that actually encouraged us to go to a seminar. It was a workshop, local workshop, and kind of just learn a little bit about it. And we actually learned that back in like the 80s, AZ's dad was investing in real estate, and we had no idea. So he shared that with us, and it was kind of like, this is something that would open up some opportunities for you guys. And so we just that's how it started. And then we got some more education under our belts and just took it from there, learned as much as we could, got as much experience as we could, and then just started jumping. We just dove in pretty much. Just went for it. And then we both had full-time jobs when we moved out here, and we ended up quitting our jobs because, I mean, as a lot of people know, real estate could take up a lot of time. And so in order to focus all of our energy on that, we decided we're going to quit our 9-to-5 and just focus. So that's what we did.
Yeah. So tell me more. How did you guys, at which point did you guys make the leap of going, hey, we can quit this job and we can
So I was probably at my job for about a year and a half before I decided that it was a good time. And, you know, I was working in downtown Dallas, doing that commute every day from Forney, and the traffic, it took me an hour each way. And, you know, just I was outside sales for a lighting company. And I just wasn't really passionate about it. And I felt like I had that drive to go into business for myself. And I just didn't want to work for someone else anymore. I didn't want to pursue someone else's or help them pursue their dreams, I guess, or make their dreams come true. I wanted to work on what we wanted. And I never thought that was possible, especially living in California. It's so expensive, and the opportunities aren't really there like they are here, I feel like. So it just felt like the right time. And so we did it, and I'm so glad. So.
Yeah. Okay. That's fantastic. Fantastic. And how about your business? Tell me about where you guys were in your business, where you guys go, hey, it's time. Like, this is the right thing to do.
So when we started, it took us, you know, the first thing we did obviously was, all right, we got to start putting offers in. Right. We had a couple of realtors we were working with, and we finally found one that understood what our goals were, because that's super important. You know, we wanted to put a lot of offers in, and in order to do that, you need someone that can keep up. So we were putting in hundreds of offers, you know, every couple weeks or so, and it took us several months before we actually got an offer that stuck and made sense, and we got our first flip going. And then it was like, okay, you know, if we could just do maybe at least one every few months to start out, then I think we could sustain ourselves as a business and eventually grow and increase that number. So I think it was once we started, like the first one, you know, obviously it was a learning process, and we had a lot of challenges, of course. But I think once we got finished with that one and then moved on to like 2 and 3, we realized that, okay, we're going to keep this going, and this is going to be our business, you know, moving forward.
And it's because after a couple of deals, you guys have figured it out. You kind of understand the whole process.
Right.
So you duplicate it.
Exactly. And you learn, you know, how to talk to contractors, and, you know, what's the right type of person you want on your team, because that's also really important. And obviously that's always changing as you're growing, you know, hiring the right people to come onto your team, which hopefully we're getting to that point soon where we're busy enough to where we're probably going to need a project manager or some sort of an assistant to help us with the background, like paperwork and handling the contractor bids and things like that. So start delegating those things out as we grow, because obviously the busier you get, the less time you have to do all the things that you did in the beginning. So.
Yeah. And you know, having the two of you working together too is important, because you guys talk about, we've talked about this. You guys were talking about figuring out, you know, each other's complementary skills, and
right.
We have each other kind of focus on what you're good at.
Yeah.
And that also helps a lot.
Absolutely, because I'll be honest, in the beginning, we were duplicating efforts. We would be looking or scouring, you know, looking for properties, and sometimes we would both be doing the same thing, where now we realize, okay, AZ is better at acquisition. I'm better at coordinating the project, hiring the contractors, and, you know, sort of facilitating the whole project aspect, where he's more like, you know, getting the property under contract, negotiations, that's all him. Where before we were kind of duplicating efforts until we realized what we were good at. And now we understand our strengths, our weaknesses. And so it works a lot better.
Yeah.
Now that we understand that.
You guys start with 2 full-time person, because you have 2, you know, where I was just kind of realizing the more people you start adding to your organization, the easier things become.
Right.
And so and you grow faster. So the fact that you have two people working on it together,
Mm-hmm.
taking care of a lot of the things that need to be done. That was also a lot of the reason you guys are growing so fast, because you're both of you are in it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And once we realized what either one of us was really good at and what, we could do and work separately, but as a team, it worked so much better and things ran so much smoother. Because in the beginning, we were just kind of like, do whatever we can to just make this work. And it was kind of a big mess in the beginning, but then you kind of figure it out. And then,
Harder,
yeah.
And when you're first starting, you're trying to create. You're trying to create the business. You're trying to create everything and
Mm-hmm.
learn. So it's always very busy, very kind of messy. And then,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
and so over time, you kind of start getting everything organized and putting it
Yeah.
in place, and life becomes better. So you
Right.
guys are on a really good track. And I was also kind of recommend the folks that are listening in. It's always nice if you can find a very good partner that complements your skill sets to
Mm-hmm.
start a partner. You don't need to go into solo deals in everything. Especially with real estate that needs more capital. Do it in a team because you're gonna grow a lot faster.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So we always believe in that, and I think Jessica, you and Az, you guys are looking into growing your team also, right?
Yes, we are. I mean, we'd like to expand. We'd like to grow our team and cover more area. Because obviously, just the two of us, we can't do it all. And and then aside from that, obviously, we have other businesses in addition to our flipping business. So in order to grow those as well, I feel like the next step for us is going to be to add more people to our team. So
Yeah,
that
yeah. I got two things, Jessica. So we're trying to create a portal, and one of the things that the features we want to add in is jobs.
okay.
So we can start, because this is a real estate investment industry. There's a lot of people, and there's a lot of folks that are trying to look for learning opportunities and also work. So and also I think what would be a really good match is that anybody that's listening in or tuning in, if you
Mm-hmm.
know anybody that is looking to learn about real estate investments, it's very important to work with the folks that have done it before. They already got the scars, right? Already got the battle scars, and you can just
Right.
learn they can learn a lot from you guys. I think that would be a really good match, a very good way for people to get started.
Exactly. And that's another one of our goals is to provide value to people that are looking to get started in this industry and not really sure where to start. We'd like to, kind of see if we can help at least give some insight into it to see if it's the right move for them and give them, at least an idea of what it's like and what to expect and things that maybe we didn't think about when we first started because no one told us. So,
We all make a lot of rookie mistakes because at every single oh man, there's so many rookie mistakes that you can make, and so it's good. I'm always I'm starting to compare this Jessica with like the sports teams.
mm,
The sports teams, you have the rookies that are gonna learn the way of life, right? And then you got the veterans that are tutoring the rookie. Anyway, I just want to chime in here a little bit because the idea of rookie mistakes, I was like, oh, I'm learning that a lot about myself recently.
oh yeah. And then also, when you're doing this business, if something doesn't work, obviously you've got to try a different way to do it instead of repeating your mistakes. So just trying different things, what works best, and then okay, that didn't work, step back and then try something else. So you're always tweaking your business and as the market changes, especially deciding, okay, I know we've been doing single family flips, but now the market shifted. Maybe we need to focus on multifamily or commercial. So it's just learning the changing market and the best way possible to grow as a business.
Yeah, and learning from you guys because you have done it for so long, and you have kind of seen the market shift, and you have
Mm-hmm.
you have been there. I think there's a lot of value in shadowing you guys. I kind of see it,
Yes.
I don't know, like an apprentice position or something like that, where you get to learn a lot and you also get paid. I think it's a fantastic opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, that's something that we want to offer to those that getting started or just considering it. Maybe they haven't even started yet, but they're just thinking about it. And I run into people like that all the time that, oh yeah, I've always wanted to do that, or I've been thinking about doing that. I just don't know where to start. And being able to at least share, again, our experiences, whatever knowledge we have, and at least maybe help them make a decision whether or not that's for them.
Correct. Correct. And I think okay. So the other thing I wanted to ask you is how can people reach you, Jessica, if they want to learn more about what you guys are looking for?
So we do have a website. It's orangedoozer.com. We also have an email. You can send an email to us. It's info@orangedoozer.com. And you can call me if you want to.
Jomar, are you able to type in? Can you type that? Share that with the folks on Zoom.
And we're also on social media. We have a Facebook page. We update pretty frequently with projects we're working on. And again, like I said, we have a website and we're on LinkedIn. And we're, like I said, just send us a message on social media, or you can also reach out to us via email, or Steve can post my phone number if he wants to.
Awesome. So let me ask you this one question. What is the best and most worthwhile investment you have ever made?
The best and most worthwhile investment, probably in the education that when we first got started. I am so glad that we got some sort of education. We didn't go in 100% blind. We went to as many classes as we could to learn the processes, from anything from how to walk a property to, what contracts you need in place to cover yourself, how to set up your LLC, all those things that you would not know to do. We wouldn't know unless we had that education. So I would say that's by far the best investment is the education.
Yeah, I will agree with you. I think our best clients are the ones that have gone through some good educational training programs.
Right.
Because obviously you got to learn everything and you got to practice everything, right? And but the most important thing is that you can learn all the stuff that they teach you, and you know what to do when the situation shows up.
Right.
And having a very strong network as well.
Absolutely. Support is huge. And if you obviously, like any networking event with investors, any sort of mastermind class or educational opportunity, absolutely I would encourage you to do, because you've got to build that network, because you never know who can provide what value to you unless you get out there and you meet other people like you, or who you can help. So that's very important. Also, in line with education is your network.
Yeah, I would say that our role in the business world, I was starting to wonder, what do we really offer out to the world, to the market? And I realized that our ultimate job is connectors. We're
Yep.
connecting people and we're connecting with entrepreneurs. And being an entrepreneur means you need to be a very good connector. And that
Hmm.
when you have a strong network, and that takes time to build. You gotta start going to events, you gotta start going to
Yes, it's a process.
yeah, it's a
It takes
process.
time. It takes time to build that network, and it doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
Just like your real estate business, your flipping business doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. And again, you after a while, and you're connecting with people, you notice the results of that pretty quickly, if you are consistent, and that's key. I mean, you have to be consistent so people know who you are, know what you do, know what your needs are as a business, and know what you can offer others as a business. And you'll be surprised and amazed at the results you get.
Yeah, I think it's consistency. It's like running a marathon. If you are just trying to sprint, I had that mindset myself too in the beginning.
Yeah.
Sprint, well, you gotta sprint a lot. You gotta sprint really fast, and there's so much to be done, and there's so many more things that if you have a marathon mindset and just be consistent and keep doing it every day and every day and every day, the momentum is just gonna build and
Yes.
grow. I think the folks that I have seen that have been thriving their business are the people that are consistent. They just keep doing it, doing it, and
Mm-hmm.
doing it every day, and you're gonna be successful. I think
Yeah,
I think that's the secret to success. Well,
absolutely. I mean, you can't
maybe
succeed if you give
months.
up. So you just keep going,
Yeah, you
and
just keep
you're.
going and you're gonna grow. It's like gardening. You keep watering
Mhm.
it, and they're gonna grow. So thank you, and Jessica. It's very interesting that you brought up the education and the networking because we actually have a class that you're teaching for us, you and AZ.
Yes,
So tell us
on
about the class.
Wednesday. So we're really excited about it. It's acquiring profitable deals on the MLS. That is the class, because some people don't think that's possible, but it is because we are proof of that. And also, I'm going to talk a little bit about my design company and what to expect if you are going to work with an interior designer for your flips, and also staging. So that's also going to be in the same class.
Yeah, so kind of the process here is for the MLS is okay. So there are a couple of things. Number one is MLS deals versus off market, right? There's a lot of deals on the MLS,
Yes.
uh, and it's hard to get to these deals because everyone and their mother are all looking at the MLS, and
Right.
so you guys have figured out a way to win deals on the MLS and grow your business. Have you guys started marketing to the off market yet?
We have. We started doing direct mail, and also just driving for dollars, just
Mhm.
driving around trying to find anything that looks like might be vacant, or just any opportunity we come across. Now we're exploring all different avenues to
Yeah,
acquire properties.
it's about the channels. But all these years, you guys have been growing your business just through the MLS. So how many deals have you guys done on the MLS?
Probably about 14, I would say.
Yeah, that's a lot of deals. That's a lot of deals for you to kind of grow, to start putting your business and positioning it in a way where you
Mm-hmm.
keep growing. There's a lot of deals that you can win on the MLS. Like, wow, 14 deals is
Right.
a lot of deals.
What's that?
I said 14 is a lot of deals.
Yeah, yeah. And people are always surprised when we say we're getting deals off the MLS, and they're like, "What? I don't understand." And it's going back to consistency. You don't always get a deal on the first try. The first time you make an offer on something, you don't always get it. And there are several deals that we got going back 2, 3 times. And then of course, sellers sometimes have no choice but to um, you know, decrease that price because they're getting it's timing. They're getting to a desperate point where they need to offload it, and even though it is on the MLS, it may have gone in and out of contract several times. So you never know the scenario. You never know the seller situation. So we've just
Motivated.
been consistent.
Yeah, the motivated stuff. You just gotta keep hitting it, being consistent, and you're gonna get deals. And in this class, we're gonna show you guys. We're gonna teach you guys how to consistently win these deals on the MLS. All these tricks. So now, once you get the deal, you gotta fix it up, and before you sell it, you really, really gotta think about interior design. You know, some people may think, oh, it just, you know, it's staging. You know, maybe I can save that money. And I can still sell it. Jessica, tell us why it's important.
So a lot of times when you're updating a home, you're knocking walls down, you're creating that updated, modern, open concept that everybody loves, that most people are doing nowadays. And when you do that, you remove any sort of defining wall or anything that would define a space. And most buyers cannot visualize where their furniture will go, you know, when you do that. And even if you left walls in, just the average buyer can't visualize. So adding a stage, it creates an emotional response for the buyers. When they walk into that space, they can visualize living there. They can visualize themselves relaxing on the sofa and cooking in the kitchen. You know, it just creates that emotion, and you know, helps them visualize living there, which is what you want, because that leads obviously to potential offers.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and just kind of to add to that, it's because you know, when you're selling the house, you're selling to retail buyers. It's very important to understand who you're dealing with. So when you're
right.
selling to retail buyers, they all buy with emotion. You know, I still remember when
Exactly.
I was home. You know, it's like, oh, you know, it's like just like whatever you imagine in your mind, and the house sells it for you.
Right.
So having those awesome staging is always gonna help you sell it faster, and because it's on the market less, you're gonna save that money.
Exactly. You're saving on holding costs and potential price reductions, because you could end up having to do a price reduction if your house sits on the market too long. Whereas if you had staged, maybe it wouldn't sit as long as you thought, and you wouldn't have to do that price reduction to try and offload it. So all those things come into play, and I just think it's important. And it also makes those MLS photos look amazing, so that anybody shopping online will most likely want to book a showing for your property because the pictures look awesome, you know. So it can only help.
Yeah. And a lot of folks, they don't necessarily think about it, but it should be part of your budget and part of your investment.
Absolutely.
In that, you increase the demand for your house, and you're in a much, much better position.
Right. You want to be the best house on the block. You want to be the very best, so you stand out. And that's one way to do it, is to stage and just make it look the absolute best that you can, so that it does stand out as the best property in that neighborhood.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Jessica. Thank you so much for your time with us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Again, our class is this coming Wednesday at the Quest Trust Company. It's in Addison. So if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, make sure you join us. We're literally giving these classes for free. They're only $10 to attend, because we really want you guys to learn and acquire the knowledge you need to be successful in this business. Thank you so much, Jessica. I'm going to move on to the segment on deals updates, and we're going to go over the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So let me start sharing my screen. Okay. All right, so this is the second week, right? Second Monday of the month. So we're gonna look at Dallas-Fort Worth. This is our Dallas-Fort Worth deals update. And for those of you who are just joining us and you're not familiar with our deals updates, what we do is we are compiling lots of off-market or motivated seller data all over Texas, right? We're in 14 or 17, actually 14 major counties here in Texas. So every month we compile this data and we visualize it for you so you know where all the deals are. And every Monday I will go over one metro area. And this week we are going to talk about Dallas-Fort Worth. So we always like sharing, some of the general market updates with you guys. This is the data that we are getting from the Texas A&M Real Estate Center. And so it's showing the number of drops of inventory. Let me put on my lighter. Now, this is the time for November and December because we don't own this data. And this is the most recent thing that they have. But we can still see, based on the history, we can kind of see where we are today. So this is the most recent that we have. So you can see from November to December, the new listings, right? New houses that's hitting the market, there's a big drop, almost 30%. That's a very, very big number, right? Because the market is slowing down. However, if you compare this number to the previous year, there are still more properties out than 2017. So there has been a big drop, but it's still, it's kind of like the December 2017 level, and it jumped up, it doubled, and it kind of come back down. And still, did I say double? Maybe not double, but it came back a lot, and then it came back down, and now it's still better than where we were last year. And here, the total number of listings, there's a drop, right? So this is inventory. How many houses are on the market? There's a drop of over 14%. But if we compare it to the inventory of last year, still much, much better than last year. Here, we're looking at a couple of numbers. The median price per square footage, not that much change. But it has taken longer to sell, right? It has taken much longer, 4 days more. And the number of inventory, the number of months of inventory has come down. Okay. And last year it was so hot. There's so much demand. There's only less than 2 months of inventory, same time last year. Okay, so these are our true data. So this is our deals. These are the MLS deals. We were just talking to Jessica about, about the deals on, what am I doing here? Excuse me. Okay, so here we are at Dallas-Fort Worth, the MLS deals. So each circle is a deal. Okay, these are all deals. The bigger the circle, the better the discount. This is a very good discount property. And again, when it comes to everything that the computer has found and done, they are not 100% accurate, right? But it gives us a very good general picture of where all the deals are. So, and they're also color coded. So you got Collin County here, that's blue. Denton County is green. Red is Tarrant County, Fort Worth area, Arlington, and Dallas and Mesquite area in the Dallas County. So you can get a lot of things out of this. You get a cluster of these houses, cluster properties. That means it's a very hot area in terms of deals. There's a lot more deals popping up in the area. And all this is the data in the last month, right? Just in the previous month. And where you see there's no, these are all blank. There's not a lot of deals in this area. So you want to focus your efforts, you want to focus in where the clusters are, right? Especially when you're looking at the MLS deals. And here we have the number of deals in the last month that we found. So Dallas has the most deals with 187, and Tarrant has 161. Then we have also added the total number of opportunities. So these are how much potential profit you can make if you win all the deals on the MLS and you sell it at the estimated value. That's kind of the estimated after repair value, ARV. So if you add all that, there's $34 million of opportunity that you can potentially make on these MLS deals. So it's a lot of opportunities out there. Right? People say there's no deals on the MLS, but once you figure it out, there's a lot of opportunities for you. And here we have the trend of the deals, the number of deals. So down here, if you see the months, it goes from July to February 2019. So every month is 4 bars, and each bar is color coded down here. Okay, and I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna tell you guys where you can download this stuff, all this data. For the DFW, pre-foreclosure, these are pre-foreclosure, right? So these are off-market deals. And the way we look at this is instead of the circles, we are showing you the zip code. We want to show you the hottest zip code. So each of these region is a zip code, and the darker the color, the more filings there are. So these are the ones that have the most number of pre-foreclosure filings in that zip code. The highest is 33. So I guess there are 33 in this zip code. And why do people care? Because if you're going to do marketing, you can do a lot of marketing that focuses on that zip code, because from an economic standpoint, a socioeconomic standpoint, the population is more likely to file for pre-foreclosures. And if you kind of follow all these updates month to month, you're going to see the majority of them are kind of centered in this area, kind of the south of Dallas. From a pre-foreclosure standpoint, there's a lot more filings that are off-market than the MLS. So there's 481 houses in Dallas that's going to go into foreclosure. So I guess, and these are the numbers that's in the February auction. Okay, so these are fresh, very, very fresh data. So all of these are going to foreclosure. These were the filings. And so it's Dallas, Tarrant, and then Collin and Dempsey. Okay, so these are all the numbers. So think about the opportunities you can pursue. And on the pre-foreclosure data standpoint, we would look at the unpaid balance, and so we do the whole formula and we do all the calculation by looking at their deed, figuring out when they took out the loan. And how big the loan is, and we do the calculation. It's an estimate to figure out how much, if they have been paying down their mortgage, how much do they have left unpaid. So this is unpaid balance, and we compare that to the tax appraisal value, adding all that up. So and that's how we get our equity, $97 million. Okay, and so I think people can generally argue, tax appraisal value is not that accurate, but when we are, it's pretty close, right? So when you are looking at the amount of opportunities, that's really, really, really good. $97 million, almost 97.5 million. And that's just in the last month, right? So there's a lot of opportunities there. It doesn't matter if the market is hot or not as hot. Actually, when the market is coming down a little bit, cools down a little bit, it's fantastic for the investors, for the experienced investors, and for the investors that want to go into this because now you're looking at a lot more opportunities. As long as you know how to do it, it doesn't matter what market it is. And here, this is our trend. And again, they're all color-coded. Different color means different county. And this is a month by month. So we're seeing a bigger number of pre-foreclosure filings that hit the auction in February. For more on deals updates, please go to this link here, realestateiq.co/freebies. And let me make sure we got a couple more things here. So before we go, please make sure to use the link. Let's see here. I think we just sent out the link for Jessica's class. So make sure you guys join us for the class. We share all the information on the chat here for you guys, the location, where to register, and we look forward to seeing you guys there. It's going to be a fantastic class, lots and lots of deals there, so you can learn all the little things that you need to do to make a profitable deal. So thank you so much, you guys, for joining us, and use the chat window, and we're also posting this live on YouTube and Facebook. We're going to also have all this information posted on those platforms. Great. Thank you so much for joining us, you guys. Have a great evening and have a great Monday night.